Hey everybody, welcome to our YOLO with ToLo Facebook Live. Okay, so let me do a couple of housekeeping things here. I'm gonna flip this around. Hey Kevin, Kevin's here. Our production coordinator is here to help us flip this around so that things aren't backwards. I wish that Facebook would just do all this for us. Um, okay, and then we're waiting for Lonnell. So anyway, welcome to YOLO with ToLo. We're so glad you guys are here today. So Lonnell was up in the air because of Mother Nature and weather-related things, and he was just landed. And hey Lonnell, I just added you here. And it says it's connecting. Hey, welcome. You're there.
Hey,
How
what's
are you?
going on? I'm wonderful. How are
I'm
you
good.
guys tonight?
Woo. So wait, where are you at? And what happened?
I'm in the
Like,
Midwest. I'm in Missouri, and it was just a crazy day. I was supposed to be here like a couple of hours ago. Hey, Britt, baller, baller. I was supposed to be here hours ago, right? So we were late taking off. I was in Chicago earlier. I started out in Atlanta this morning. But anyway, I was in Chicago, and then there were thunderstorms, and then there was an issue with the plane. So by the time I got here, it was much later than I expected to actually be here. But I'm here, and that's all that matters.
yeah, you're
No.
here. Cheers to that. Woohoo!
Cheers, Doc White. We see you watching.
Okay, so I flipped my screen. A couple of housekeeping rules. I flipped my screen already. Make sure you flip your screen and you share with people.
Yes. Okay.
And today's theme, you guys, is on focus and clarity.
Focus
Uh,
and clarity.
and all of our themes every week is based upon the questions you guys ask. Hey, Denise, it says you need more light on your face. I know, right? I feel like, is that better, Denise? D is our producer. I'm gonna get up really close just because when I actually hit live, it got really dark. So you're gonna see my face really big. So you scoot up a little bit there. Yeah. Woohoo, we're live. Okay, so welcome everybody. Thank you for watching today. Today is a special day because today is episode 10. I don't know, I love like numbers that are sort of like double digit. I don't know why. I get
I
excited
can't
over
believe
that.
that we've been doing this for 10 weeks already.
I
Wow.
know, right? And
Wow.
we're still
Okay.
trying to get, hey Vicky. Okay, we're trying our best to, play with the light here. Hold up. There you go. I think that's better. Um, when you're close to the screen, lighting is improved. Okay, thanks, D. I'm gonna get really close to y'all right now. Kind of uncomfortably close. So
Okay, my pores are big enough. I don't need to be any closer to the camera.
Okay, we will next time we will try to bring some more light here. But anyway, welcome to YOLO with ToLo. ToLo is essentially just a weekly conversation that we have. It's an amalgam or a combination of my name and Lonnell's name. And I like the acronym that we made up, transforming our lives organically through conversation.
Yes.
And people are like, wait, what is it? So I always say it's a modern day like Dear Abby. And I don't know, like, I don't know which Regis, Kathy Lee with the twist of Oprah. I have no idea. But anyway, we
Yeah,
basically
but
help
a
you
little
get through
more
the.
viewer engagement too. With the, it's not just
Yeah.
like Dear Abby's more of a one-way kind of thing. They're asking for advice, but I think this is participatory on both ends. So we kind of
Yeah.
depend on your interaction as well. Hi, Auntie.
Hey, Jessica. Yeah, and based on our themes every week is essentially based on the questions you guys asked. So last week we talked about spirituality because several people DM'd us and wrote on our timeline about questions about spirituality. What is it? Your spiritual practice. So if you missed that, you can watch last week's episode 9. But this week, episode 10 is all about clarity and focus based on several of the questions people asked about how to find that. Hola, Jessica. Hey, Kevin. Okay, so anyways, speaking about clarity and focus, we have four segments. The first one is, you like my little ghetto segment two. Segment 1 is Tolo's hot topics. So we'll be talking about this week, Mother's Day or Mother's Week, since Mother's Day isn't here yet.
Every
We're
day
gonna be
is Mother's
celebrating
Day to
mamas.
all you mothers out there. We celebrate you.
Okay, baby mamas, mother figures, we're gonna celebrate you.
Mother
and
effers, all of you.
Mother, no, you didn't. And then we're going to talk about in segment 2, Dump the Hump, how to get through your challenges that you're going through in life, especially on Wednesdays, because for some reason Wednesdays are always a little harder. But for me, it's Wednesday because I was like, when's Wednesday coming? When do I get to talk about now? Then segment 3 is one of our favorites because we get to talk to you guys, and segment 3 is called Talk with ToLo. You like my little
And you
I'm
guys
not
have
flipping
some
you off.
great
Just
questions this week. I love it. Love it. Love it.
amazing questions. Hey, Vicky. And then if we have time, we're going to talk about
Yeah, we really need to talk
digital
about
detox.
that.
Oh, we both have issues. I keep trying to get
Issues.
myself off of the computer, and the all my screens and my phone and all that, but oh Lord, have mercy, please help us. So okay, let's talk now about our segment one, our hot topics. And you pinged me with this. You know what? You're always on the social media pulse because you pinged me about this new Facebook Watch show, and I started hearing about it everywhere. They were on the reel. They were just all over social media. So the new Facebook show that Jada Pinkett Smith created is called Red Table
Red
Talk.
Table Talk. And,
Yeah.
and basically, it's a show about it features her, her mom, and her daughter. So 3 generations of women having these discussions.
It's
and I love
Adrian, the mom.
Adrian's the mom, and Willow's the daughter.
The daughter's Willow, yes.
Who's 17, and her mom, they don't say her age, but her mom looks fierce, whatever age she is.
Her mom looks amazing, and there's a photo of her mom like with a 6-pack.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, she be looking good. I want to look that good when I'm that age. But essentially, the cool thing is that the mom is super sort of like by the book, and the daughter is kind of like, woo, wild.
Right.
Wild
and then
child.
Jada's somewhere in between. But it's a great dynamic. The generational dynamic is phenomenal. And they had their launch episode was on motherhood, and it is so phenomenal. And everybody really needs to see what it's like to have a healing conversation. They actually start off talking about Jada shows her daughter and her mom an interview she did with Cherie Fletcher, who is Will Smith's first wife, and they talk about mothering.
Ex-wife, yeah.
His ex-wife, his first wife, yeah. And talks about mothering her son Trey, because when Will and Jada got together, Trey was already in their lives. So it really they really get candid about how things went down, how it was really rough in the beginning, and just to see the evolution and how they really thought. I mean, despite all the drama back and forth initially, they really stepped up as women and really just it's just a conversation you must hear. And for me, it struck home because my mom and my stepmom, they weren't necessarily as close as those two are today, but they always had a great relationship. And so it hits home for me because I never saw any drama or tension between my mom and my stepmom. I saw a lot between my mom and my daddy, but I didn't see any really between my mom and my stepmom. We all have. Right. Yeah. So it was interesting. So that particular show hit home, but it's just a wonderful conversation. So if you haven't seen it, you really should just take the time out to watch that particular episode.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and it's only on Facebook Watch. And gosh, so many things I want to say about it. Well, first and foremost, I love the vulnerability and the authenticity. And when she brought Will's ex-wife, Cherie, right? That's her name,
Cherie.
On, Cherie. And, she was saying stuff that, like kind of throwing some shade of sort of like talking about like their interaction, and they were real about it. And the fact that, for me, the fact that Jada was so like open and honest and willing to listen to what she had to say and had open dialogue. I mean, that was amazing. And then you see Willow, the daughter, teenager, like really reacting to it like at real time. And I love that you said like it's like healing talk, but that's what the word that came up in mind when I was watching it. It was like cathartic.
Very.
Right. The fact that like how many of you guys do talk to your moms or your dads about what's going on in their lives, and how it hit home for me was I've been urged by a lot of elders, friends of mine, and about how I should really start recording conversations with my mom. And for many of you guys that know me, I lost my mom, my father, my 2 grandmothers, which were close to me, because Asians were very close to our elders. And one of my grandmothers, my paternal grandmother, raised me, and I lost my aunt all in 1 year's time. So this was like 18 years ago. And so this made me realize that, gosh, I should try to have some sort of conversation with my mom and start recording it. And I actually started to do that. And this has just inspired me more to just have a more open relationship with my mom. And, I'm American kid in Chinese body. I could say Asian American, and I grew up here my whole life. But my mom is like Chinese. She's like, how does computer? She probably don't even know what Facebook Live. She doesn't know what Facebook Live is. She was like, how does the email you send to the computer? You know, and so it's like it's hard for me, and I've always yearned to have this like conversation or this like connection with my mom. But she's not an American mom that talks about feelings and stuff. You know, she's like, you eat yet? You hungry? And that's how she shows love. D, a producer, says, Red Table Talk is an emotional, multi-generational, candid dialogue Facebook series.
And that it is.
That's a lot of words. That it is. And it just was just so heartwarming. And like you said, a conversation that people just really need to watch. Not only if you're co-parenting, but if you are any sort of mother, father sort of figure, guardian to anybody, it's really emotional and riveting.
Any, not even just parents, not even just mothering. It's any complicated relationship. You can learn something. One of the things that I love about what Jada said, what Cherise said about Jada, is that when she was wrong, she never had a problem apologizing, and that's what gave, that's what gave Cherise so much respect for her, and that speaks volumes, because sometimes we are so stuck on our position that
or ego,
it's not really to be flexible at all. So absolutely, but absolutely, check it out. Red Table Talk. I have no investment in this show, but I love it, and you.
I know, me neither.
Some major good stuff going on there, and some spiritual gems. Jada's dropping a few spiritual gems as well.
That's what you were just in my head now, because I was just gonna say that she drops a lot of spiritual gems and jewels up in there. So I love that. Dee's telling us move on to segment number 2, which is the Wednesday Dump the Hump. Dump the Hump. This is where we talk about just our life lessons and conversations that we've had with our friends about what's going on in their lives. So since our focus this week is on focus and clarity, I just wanted to talk a little bit about consistency. I recently, for my podcast, I have a podcast called Truth Dare Talk, where I talk to people about who have found their true calling, and we're daring you to find your truth. And we've talked about truth a lot in these episodes, just how that's so important to you. And I interviewed some CrossFit legends. They're Juliet Starrett and Kelly Starrett. They're the owners of one of the first 25 CrossFit boxes, and I've been going to them the last 5 years, and they talk about how they're pretty big. They have over 1 million followers and on social, and they talk about how people always are saying, oh, you're like overnight successes. They're like, no, we aren't. You weren't there when we woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, training people. And Kelly talks about how, like, you want to see how strong you are and get strong, you have to do heavy deadlifts once a week. And it's all about the consistency. And that's one thing I love so much about these conversations that you and I have been, connected to. And it holds us accountable every Wednesday. It holds the people we're talking to, our truth, our ToLo tribers accountable as we have this dialogue. Teresa says, definitely record those conversations with your mom would be so special. Yeah, I hope that this, if anything, this inspires you guys to do that.
Yeah. And
the whole consistency aspect.
Consistency is absolutely key.
Yes. So my question is, how do you remain consistent? I mean, you and I promised to do this with each other on Wednesdays to share this wisdom, but for those of you guys just tuning in now, it's like Lonnell and I, every time we talk, we're like, oh my God, there's so many spiritual jewels and gems here we want to share with people. We wish we could just record it. And here we are saying that we'll record it every Wednesday night at 7, pending any sort of, any sort of issues like with your plane delay today. But how do you stay? I know, right? How do you stay consistent? What are some tips that you have for people?
It's just honesty is the main thing. You just have to be honest with yourself and take stock every day. And sometimes you just don't necessarily feel like it, because even the pre-production stuff that we do before we even come on here, talking about the topics and meeting with the producers, all that stuff is hey, Jimmy was a Janet Jackson dancer in the Rhythm Nation. Miss you much video, but anyway, I love him. Anyway,
okay, sorry. I love Janet.
So you
I love
have to,
Janet.
you really, consistency is just, you just have to know, and you have to hold yourself responsible. And for me, it's just reminding myself every day. It's like, you know what, you don't feel like getting up and doing this today, or you may not, you may not be motivated, but I just have to constantly talk myself through it. And
Yep.
I also keep records of when I've done something. Like if it's working
Mm.
out, if it's whatever, I try to write it down, and then to keep some type of record so that I can look back at it and see, oh, you've been slacking for a whole week, or you missed this meeting, you didn't respond to this particular email about this, you're not being consistent. So it's just being in the habit of constantly, for me, it's just constantly taking stock and evaluating where am I in this process. And that's an
Mm.
ongoing thing that I'm constantly
Yeah.
asking myself, where am I in this process? Have I met and fulfilled my obligations today? And I don't necessarily beat myself up if I miss a day of
Yeah.
doing something, or one thing
That's
slipped through
key.
the crack.
Yeah.
But when slipping through the
Yeah.
crack becomes a pattern, then it's like, no, you need
Yeah.
somebody, you need a little kick in the tail for me. But
Yeah.
for me, it's really just about taking stock every day, and sometimes several
Yeah.
times throughout the day, to hold myself accountable, and having somebody to call me out on it, to having an accountability partner for me, or someone who can just be there, be like, now, dude, now you're supposed to be doing this, and I haven't
Yeah.
heard from you. Like I have my gratitude partner, my
Yeah.
friend Rich Cruz in San Diego, and
Rich.
every day
Yeah.
we're responsible for sending each other our gratitude entries. I do mine on an app. I think he does his on the same app, and we share them with one another. So if I haven't heard from him in a couple of days, or what is much more likely to happen is he doesn't hear from me in a couple of days, and he's like, dude, what are you grateful for? And so having somebody there to remind you of that is key. It's a
Yeah.
huge help, because sometimes even when you tell yourself, you haven't done this, but you're not, you're slacking. You're not necessarily motivating yourself. But when somebody calls you out, then suddenly you start feeling guilty and less than and all the other nonsense. But whatever it takes to get you back into gear. So yeah, for me, it's
Yeah,
just
well,
all
that's a
about
lot of stuff. Yeah,
where.
well, that's good. So yeah, I think that it's really important that, we talked a lot about like listening to the whispers. Like, that if you feel like overweight, or your poop ain't regular, or whatever it is, whatever it is, that you
Been
can
there,
sleep
done
better
that.
working
Right.
out. Yeah, right. All of us have. So for me, I remember like I was gaining weight, and I was just every time I got busy, I would always put my workout like second and put me third, or second, third, or fourth. And I realized that what, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of the way my body feels inside and out. So I put myself as a priority. So it's important. I think I'm a list person, so I love to write lists of like, here are the things that are important to me. Whether it's looking good in a bathing suit, or with your shirt off, or eating well, or whatever it is, and paying more attention to your partner, and then activating on it and giving yourself like incentives. So like you say like, okay, well, if I do go and work out, then I will give myself whatever, and like kind of like dangle a piece of a piece of something, or kind of have some sort of goal
Right.
to achieve.
And it shouldn't
And
be like,
then
if I do 10 jumping jacks, I'm going to get an ice cream sundae. No,
yeah, a
that's not how
Twinkie.
it works.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
The
For
reward
me,
needs
it's
to be in
almost like,
proportion to
okay, so if I
achievement.
make it past my first year, maybe I'll go get this like some workout shorts or shirts that I like, or whatever. And then like you said, accountability is huge, and that's what you and I are doing here, is holding each other accountable and holding the folks watching accountable every week, because otherwise you feel like you're alone, and then you want to give up. But that's why,
Right.
again, I love the whole CrossFit culture, or any sort of workout. Like I did TRX recently, started doing that. And it's like other people are sweating and holding each other accountable while they're working out, and they're going through it. They're not alone, and that you're not in this journey together. Yeah.
Absolutely. And our
Okay,
producer is holding us accountable, and she's telling us to
Okay.
move on to the next segment.
These like segment 3 is talk to ToLo. You like
This
my
is
little
always my
thought
favorite.
bubble? I know, me too.
I love it.
Okay, so this week, because again, our conversations are based, or our themes every week are based upon what people ask us in instant messenger on Facebook or on our wall. And so this week, Jen, a mother of 3 in San Francisco, asks, how do you find balance that feels right? And even when you're not in it 100% of the time, how can you be 100% present for the time you have available? And when do you shake it all up? Ooh, that's good. She's talking about when does she have time for her family, herself, spiritually, for work. It's a lot.
Yes, yes. Well, I think she says it. She answers it in her question about being fully present. How do you make sure that you're being fully present? You can't be with your kids, and they're at their soccer game or whatever, and you're sitting up here in the back of your head. You're watching it, but in the back of your head, you're going through emails from work or whatever.
Yeah. Or you're
sometimes
actually on your phone.
You just have to have you have to just be present. You have to force yourself to be present. And then when you realize that you're not, you don't beat yourself up about it. You just say, hey, wait a minute. Whoa, my thoughts are going everywhere. Let me come back to the task at hand. Oh, look at the moment. The wind's blowing on my face. My kid just scored. Whatever's happening, in that moment, you have to just be fully aware of what's happening around you. I think we get, there's this note, but you can't have it all. I don't even know what that means. You can have what you want. Now, it may not all be at the same time, and it may be at the same time. But either way, you can't feel guilty about it. Don't make yourself feel less than. Just focus on trying to be present in that moment to the task at hand. That would be my advice. That's what works for me when I'm trying to multitask in my because I can work up some scenarios in my head.
All of us.
And it would drive me nuts. Yeah. And
you talk at a very kind of philosophical and spiritual level in terms of and just trying to like bring it down to like, okay, feeling the wind on your face. But when like kids are running around and your phone's going off with notifications, it's very hard to do that. And for me, I am all about life hacks. So if you know that you're on your phone a lot, then you need to put that phone when you come home at 7 o'clock every day or disengage that phone and leave it there. Or if you know that you need to be present you're on a date or you're out there at your kid's soccer game, like you said, then you need to put that phone on mute. But little like hacks and tricks like that are really important. And speaking about hacks and tricks, Dee said, okay, on to the next, because we have 1 minute before we wrap to the next digital detox segment. I always say, okay, so this is a problem that we both have a lot. So we were like, okay, let's pay attention to this every week and hold each other accountable and focus on how we can get better with detoxing digitally. And this week I'm not gonna lie. I haven't tried it yet, this new app, because I'm kind of scared. I am like, how people are addicted to alcohol and drugs. I mean, I'm addicted to my phone. So there's this new app that I had you try out. Why don't you tell people?
OMG. Okay, so I said the first day I'm not going to try to cheat or try to cut it down. I just want to do like my normal, regular routine, and just so I can have a baseline. And at the end of that, basically will measure how many times you took up your phone in a day, how many times you spend, how much time you spend on the phone. It gives you a lot of detail. I picked up my phone 95 times. I had a total of 6 hours on the phone. And it said that I was picking up my phone once every 4 minutes. That was like the average time that I would reach and check the phone. And I was okay. Now, granted, I mean, I do some work stuff on the phone occasionally, but I was trying to justify it. I was like, no, dude, you have a habit. You have a problem. You've got a problem.
Let's be real.
Today was even worse. I haven't even checked. Today was even worse. Today I was up to like 6.5 hours on the phone, and I think I was over. I had the notifications.
So you digress.
So I digressed. And it gives you. It said like, because I got a notification like when I was leaving the airport coming here. It said, Lonnell, you've picked up your phone 100 times today, and it has that emoji face that's like, oh. So,
it's like shame.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. It's a great way. It's a great tool, I think, for at least exposing you and putting your stuff on blast, so you can't really hide from the fact 90 and 180 or 70 times in a day that I pick up the phone. But it's a great way to it's a great reminder.
Hey y'all, sorry about that. It looks like the internet cut us off. Technological difficulties. Let me get Lonnell back on so we can wrap this up. Okay, let's see. So anyway, Lonnell and I were talking about digital detoxing just a moment ago, and we were talking about how we both are addicted to our phones. And Lonnell was talking about how he added this app that I was telling you about, the Mute app, which tells you how many times you picked up the phone, how many times you were on social. Um, so so anyway, so I told you I'm gonna take this challenge and I'm gonna put this app on my phone begrudgingly called the Mute app, and I'm gonna see you next week. You can hold me accountable in Digital Detox, our segment next week, to see how many times I pick it up. So I'm kind of afraid though, and I'm surprised to hear that you digressed, that you
Yeah,
got
it was
worse over
worse.
time.
I
Are you
got
gonna keep
worse.
doing it?
We'll see. Yes, I'm gonna keep doing it. I want to see if I can at least. I got to at least get below 90. I mean, like Denise was saying before we got cut off, she was like, you need a." She told me I need a serious detox. I'm like, I need a digital detox enema. Okay.
Okay. So I will hold you accountable. And you were saying that Rich, who's your accountability partner for being grateful, is watching now. So Rich, you got to hold Lonnell and me accountable for not being on the phone so much.
Well, if he tweets me or sends me a message, I'm gonna pick up my phone. It's gonna count against me.
But you're so bad. You're so bad that you told me last week that when you were with Ariana Huffington and Oprah Winfrey, that they were like, Lonnell, you can shut off your phone for us, or you can shut off your notifications. Yeah. That's really bad. That's bad.
Yeah. I'm getting around to that. Well, what a great show. Thank you, guys.
I know. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Thanks for joining us on our 10th episode. We got some goodies to give away in the future, so we'll have to tell them when we get those. But anyway, if you like what you heard today, please like this page so that you can get updates on when we air. Generally, we try to air on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m.
evening,
Pacific. 7-ish, because Lonnell travels a lot for a living.
Yeah, it
I
just
travel
depends
for
on where I am.
Yeah. So yeah, and also please send us your questions about the challenges you're facing, so that we can learn from one another. Maybe we'll drop some wisdom. Maybe we'll learn some wisdom from you guys. And the wisdom that you guys either share or the questions you ask shape the next week's show. So thanks for focusing on us and helping us gain some more clarity. We hope you learned something. We'll talk to you next week.
Love y'all. Talk to you later.
Love you guys. All right, take care. Bye.